So I'm an incredibly competitive person. And when I'm put in some type of competition or something obviously like that, I will do anything it takes to win. And I have a funny story for you guys in today's episode about a step challenge that I had with two of my buddies, and kind of what happened. And there also is a climb involved, climb anorexia, in the ghost that I'll tell you guys about. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. What is up, guys? For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Philip Setter. I'm an avid ice climber, rock climber, and backcountry skier from Canada. I'm also an insurance broker who specializes in insuring those individuals that are engaged in those type of sports. So if that sounds interesting, I'll put a link in the description, but let's just get right into the episode. Okay, for those of you who do not know this about me, I will tell you right now, I'm an incredibly competitive person. I hate to lose, especially in things that I love to do. And one of the things that I love to do is endurance sports. I've talked about this before, but I'll talk about it again. That's one of my favorite parts about climbing is like long days, long approaches, lots of suffering, lots of kilometers, lots of pushing through, multiple day trips. Like that's something that really excites me. I love running as well. I love trail running. I do a lot of mountain trail running. So I've done the Canmore Quad, which is like 55 kilometers of running, and like 5,000 meters of elevation. And I love doing days like that. I do like Mount Northover. I run that like every year, which is like another 37 kilometers and like 3,000 meters of elevation. I love endurance sports, and just kind of like pushing yourself to the limit. It's one of my favorite things to do in life. So one of the things that happened, I don't even know what this was. It was like 2 years ago, maybe, or something like that. But this is a lesson if you guys ever want to compete with me in a step competition, and I'm up for it 100% if you're interested. So this one time, my buddy Matt challenged me to this step competition. Okay, so it's like we all got these like Garmin watches, like the Garmin watches, and so you can like compete with people to like see how many steps you do for a week, and you can enter this competition, and it tracks it all, and and then you go from there. And so the first competition that I did was with my buddy Matt. And we started it at the beginning of the week, and he's stoked. He's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do the step competition. And as the week's going on, the guy is just because I sit in the office all day. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like I'm not walking around all day long. Like I go for, a few runs throughout the week to keep up the cardio. But other than that, I'm basically sitting in my office all day. Whereas Matt is still an electrician. And so he's walking around, like he's getting like 10,000 steps, 15,000 steps a day, just doing like nothing, just working his job. Right. Whereas like I'm getting like, 6,000 steps a day from the run that I have. And then I sit in the office for the rest of the time. So he's definitely got a leg up in that sense. So as the week's going on, the days are going on little by little, and he's just, like, the dude's way up. Like he's up like, I don't know, 20,000 steps or 25,000 steps. And so it gets to the end of the week. It's like, excuse me, it's like Saturday at this point. And then that's when myself, Foster, and Elliot go to climb hydrophobia. And I told you guys that story in the last episode. And if you haven't seen the last episode, go watch it. It's a funny story. But anyway, so we went and did that day. And it was like a huge day. I got like 30,000 steps in one day. And then the next day, I think I went for a run. But as we're driving back into town, there's no reception in the Ghost. So like as I'm getting reception, all of a sudden it's like updating. And Matt here had thought he had like this huge lead over me for the whole week. He was, way over me, and he was beating me every day. And then all of a sudden he just gets this notification on his phone, and it's like, oh, Philip has just taken the lead. And he's like, what the hell is this? So then as I'm driving back to Calgary with Foster and Elliot in the car, Matt calls me, and, I put it on speakerphone. It's in the car audio. And he's like, what the fuck did you just do? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. We just did like 20 kilometers or 25 kilometers or I don't know, whatever it was. Right. And he's like, oh, dude, he's like, there's no way I'm going to be able to like beat you now. Like, this is it. Like right at the end, there's like 1 day left basically of this competition. And he's like, there's no way. And I was like, I don't know, maybe you'll still get it. Right. But he's like, dude, he's like, I was like beating you all week long And then you just go out and do this like massive day and get this, like, you fucked me. And I was like, well, no, I mean, it's not over till it's over, right? So, just because you're winning during the week doesn't mean that you're going to win at the end. And so the next day happened. I think I went for like I don't know, 10-kilometer run or something like that and got like a bunch more steps. And I won that competition. And so as I was driving back, then I was talking to Foster and I was like, Foster, we should have a step competition too. And he's like, no way, man. He's like, I feel like you're going to, like do something at the end of the week. I'm like, no, dude, I'm not going to do anything. I trust. He's like, okay. He's like, let's do it. He's like, what? I think I can win for sure because I get like a lot of steps in at work. So we started this step competition for that week. And we start out and it's going the exact same. But he's even walking more than Matt. Like Matt was doing like 10,000 steps a day. Foster he was doing like 15 to 20,000 steps a day because Foster is also like an incredible runner. Like he runs a lot of like, he does long distance running. He does like speed. Like he's an incredible runner and he does a lot of like events as well, like marathons and hill running and all this other crap. Which is awesome. But he's also got like long legs and like great cardio. So he would just crush me in running. But as he's going throughout the week, he's like, not only is he working, but then he's also going for a few runs. So he's just like crushing me during the week. He's absolutely destroying me. Like he's getting like, I don't know, 20,000 a day or something stupid like that. And the week's going on and it's like starting to become evident that it's not just like, I can't just go climbing and get enough steps from climbing to win. And so as the week's going on, it's like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And Foster's texting me. He's like, dude, he's like, I feel like you're going to do something. You're like, something's going to happen at the end of the week and you're going to pull through and win. And I'm like, what am I going to do, dude? You're like 70,000 steps ahead of me. And by the way, one thing I have to tell you that's relevant to this story so you understand the ending here is when Matt called me and Foster was in the car and he was like, how did you pull ahead? I was like, I got you, bitch. And so that's very important. You need to remember that, okay? That I said that, got you, bitch. That's very important to this story. And so anyways, Saturday comes along. And I think I went out, I didn't climb Saturday. I think I went out and I just went for a run or something like that. I still didn't have that many steps, but he went and he did something too. I think he went for a climb or something like that. And so it ends Sunday night at like, 12 o'clock at night. And so I have one day to get something like I think I needed 80,000 steps or something like that. Like it was a lot, or 70,000 or something like that. And so I'm like, oh my, like, I don't know how I'm going to get, this is like 87, just to put it in context, like a marathon is like 40 or 50,000 steps. So we're talking like, 60, 70 kilometers if I wanted to go just purely running. Right. And I didn't know if he was going to do anything on Sunday. But anyways, the whole week, Foster keeps texting me and he's like, bro, I'm so nervous that you're going to do something at the end of the week. And I was like, what am I going to do? I'm going to go for a climb. That's it. Right. So Sunday rolls along and then me and my buddy go out to climb Anorexia, which is in the Ghost, which is an awesome climb, WI4. I have a video on my channel. My poor buddy, Danelle. I love that guy so much. Danelle, if you're listening to this, I love you, buddy. And so we went out, walked there, but it's not that long of a walk, maybe like 5 kilometers or something like that. Went up to it, climbed Anorexia. I think the first pitch wasn't in, so we had to walk around to get to the actual second pitch. And then those were in. They were awesome, pretty hard for just like the day. The day was super cold. It was like minus 20 or something like that. And my poor buddy Danelle got the barfies so bad. He died, and I just felt terrible for him. He had the barfies when he got to the top of the climb, and then he got the barfies again when he got to the bottom of the climb. And I'd never seen that before. And he's rethinking his whole life. He's like, I hate ice climbing. Why do I come with you? But anyways, as we're walking back, I'm like, I need to get some serious kilometers in. Like, I got to go home and get some serious kilometers in. So we get back to the car. We're driving back to Calgary. It's like blowing wind and snow, -20, -25. And I'm like, what am I going to do to get these kilometers in? Like, I need to do something. And so I get back to my house around like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, in the evening or whatever, 4 o'clock in the evening. And I'm like, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get here. I'm going to stay here for a bit. I'm going to eat some food. I'm going to drink some water. I'm going to try and like stretch out a little bit. Because I just climbed all day long. And I was like, okay, at 5:30, I'm leaving the house and I'm driving out. And I'm going to drive down to the river. And there's this river trail in Calgary. And one loop is like 21.5 kilometers or something like that. So I was like, if I do 2 loops, that's be like 43 kilometers. I think that should be enough. And so I'm texting Foster. And I was like, well, dude, I was like, congratulations, man. You did it. And he's like, dude, I don't trust you. And I was like, what am I going to do, dude? I've just climbed all day long. I'm exhausted, dude. I'm not doing anything. And then at 5:15, I get my phone, I get my headphones, I get like a balaclava, I get a bunch of like winter climbing or winter running gear. I like put my shoes on and everything, get like a headlamp, drive downtown, get situated at the river just because it's like an awesome loop. I've done the loop before, but this was actually the first time that the furthest I had ran at this point, like consecutively, was maybe like 30 kilometers or something like that. Like I guess I had done the Canmore quad, but there's a lot of, even though that was 55 kilometers, it wasn't consistent running because you would run and then you would hike and then you'd run and then you would hike. So this was the first time that I attempted that consecutive of a run before. I think like pure running, I had done, maybe like 25 kilometers or something like that. And so, so I started out and so it's like 5:30 or 6 o'clock when I started. And I'm destroyed already. Like that long day of climbing, and it's like -25 outside. It's freezing cold, like blowing wind. And I just like put my balaclava on, and I'm like, well, let's just start running and see what happens. And so I'm running by the river, and you kind of like go in the forest, and it's like pitch black, and all of a sudden I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing? But it takes me a little while, but then all of a sudden it's like I just settle in, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm incredibly competitive, and I hate losing. That's what I'm doing. And so so basically, long story short, I did the first 22 kilometers were great. I called my girlfriend at the end of the 22 kilometers, and I was like, yeah, feeling awesome. That was an awesome experience. One more loop, and then I'm good to go. I'll come home. The second loop, I really started to break down. That's when it was just like, it got like pretty frigidly cold. And then like my legs started seizing up, my feet started seizing up. But then the problem is that I only wore enough clothes to like keep me relatively warm if I was running, because I didn't want to overheat while I was running. Obviously, right? So the problem was if I stopped, then I would start to like freeze. So I had to keep going, but then it was like this battle between like freezing and then everything shut down because it was so cold. Like my phone shut down. It was done. My headphones turned off. They were like dead. Everything was dead. So the last lap, like, I don't know, 10 kilometers, I'm just like running in the silence. And it had taken me way longer. I think it was like 10:30 at night or something like that. Like it had taken me a long time to run this. My pace was really slow just because of, how I felt, the cold, and obviously that I had climbed the day. And so I'm running through this, and it's just like I'm running for like a kilometer, and then I'm like walking for a few minutes to try and like, get my legs back in condition because they were so painful. But then I would like start to freeze again. So I'd have to start running again. And I had nothing. I was like, dude, what happens if like I have like no clothes on. Like I'm running in this capacity where I have to keep running. And if I stop, I'll probably actually freeze quite quickly. And my phone is completely dead. So I can't call anyone. Like everything's dead. I can't do anything. I don't even have my wallet or anything on me to like go somewhere. Like I can't call an Uber, anything to get back to my car. And my car is 10 kilometers from me. I was like, okay, well, I guess I just have to put my head down and grind this out. So yeah, long story short, I grinded it out, got back to my car. As soon as I got into my car, I just started like uncontrollably shivering. I like cranked the heat. It was like my body was finally like, oh, okay, you're safe now. Like you can shiver now. And so I got into the car. I plugged my phone into the car charger and it's like slowly charged. I'm like, come on, get enough. We got to get it in before 12. I drove home. I think I got home at like 11:45. And I'm just like waiting. I'm waiting. My phone finally it has enough. I turn it on. I go to Garmin. I update. I update the steps. And I put it, I was over like 30,000 or something like that. Like I just crushed him. And it was like 11:50 at night, 10 minutes before the cutoff. And I just sent him a text message. And I was like, got you, bitch. Oh my God. So yeah, that was the poor dude woke up in the morning, had like this crazy lead over me the day before, woke up and it was like Philip won 30,000 steps over. He texted me, he's like, what the fuck, dude? He's like, how does it feel to casually run a marathon after climbing all day? It's like, not great, to be honest. Anyways, yeah, I'm incredibly competitive. Let me know if you want to do a step competition. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I'll see you guys in the next one.